Author Tom Bodett said, "The difference between school and life? In school, you're taught a lesson, then given a test. In life, you're given a test that teaches you a lesson." By a show of hands, how many of you were homeschooled or know of a child that was taught in your home or in their home? Not many.
Yeah, not in high school.
And of the people in the classroom, how many of you are in favor of homeschooling? Less than half the class. Homeschooling gets children away from many school problems, according to parents who choose to homeschool their children. But what then happens when the home life is the problem, or part of the problem? Some parents feel that keeping them home prevents them from social situations with peers that can be negative. But again, what happens when the home life is the problem? These are some of my key points against homeschooling. My name is Jessica, and today I'm going to talk to you about why I think that high school aged homeschooling should be banned. I have a cousin who chose to homeschool her teenage son. She had no vehicle, and their neighborhood had no transportation available for him for their high school. It didn't make her a bad parent, but it made her very dependent on other people, myself included. Because of this, she chose to keep her son home and did her research so that she could homeschool her son. She thought that this would help because he wouldn't have as many absences, and she could give him a better education than him going to school sporadically. As a result of him staying home to be homeschooled, he was usually pretty sad. When I would take my children to visit him, he seemed to lose a little bit of his spirit and his shine. He visibly became depressed. Again, for this reason, I'm against homeschooling. The goal of this speech today, and what I think we need to do, is to ban high school homeschooling. At the end, I'll ask you to sign a petition that will aid in the execution of this ban. But let's take a look at the problem with homeschooling first. High school age students are being taught by unlicensed teachers. They're being taught by parents or family members who are not trained adequately or prepared with lessons or curriculum that needs to be taught to them. They're teaching them things that they find on the internet, and this in turn deprives the children of socialization with peers of their own age. Bright Hub Education did a study that concluded that 2 million children were high schooled of 56 million who were traditionally schooled. A study by Dr. Brian Ray, who is the president of the National Homeschool Education for Research, stated that 7,300 people were asked why they homeschool their children, of which 79% stated that they could provide a better education at home. But the fact remains that parents struggle to draw the line between being a parent and an educator. You'll notice in this graph that less than half of the parents who homeschool their children have a bachelor's degree or higher, meaning they lack a proper education to give their students one themselves. In order to make friends, you first have to be one. The cause of the problems with homeschooling in high school age students is basically comes down to the lack of opportunity. The children have the potential to experience delays emotionally, academically, socially, and all because they don't all develop at the same rate. Homeschool kids, the cause of some of these developmental delays in homeschooled kids is that they don't have the opportunity to interact with same-age peers compared to kids in regular schools. They're not able to form bonds with kids their own age, so they suffer socially. Oftentimes they feel out of place when they're around people their own age or people not their age, and they find themselves secluded when in a group setting. This also can affect their later stages in life. A journal found on the International Social Science Review states that college homeschooled kids don't have any difference in self-esteem, but they lack basic communication skills. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. In order to change the problem, we need to put a ban on high school aged homeschooling. We need to require that they attend conventional schooling with peers of their own age. We need to require that they attend accredited schools where they have the opportunity to learn from licensed teachers. The future of the world is in my classroom today. What I'd like for us all to do is act now and sign a petition that we can present to the school board or the Arizona Department of Education. This would provide assistance in urging our leaders to act now in favor of the ban. To wrap it up, to ban high school homeschooling, I'd like to present you with a petition to sign today, and then we can present it to the Department of Education. By a show of hands, we can all join the movement and sign this petition. So how many of you would be willing to sign the petition? Far more than the beginning. Thank you all.